Hello, photographers. I'd like to show you a quick edit that you can do in Photoshop to take your shots for formalism, be it Rodchenko or another shooting challenge, and turn them into some punchy, dramatic black and white photographs. Right, so here is a photo I took from the catwalk, just pointing it up at an angle towards the ceiling. I really liked all these triangles that were being made by not only the the tresses here, but also the angle that I was taking at, just like Rodchenko. So I want to take this shot and I want to convert it into a black and white. Now you can certainly go into the image menu and go into mode and turn the thing into grayscale, and that just blanket takes out all the color, but you don't really have a choice in terms of how that is converted into black and white. If you want a bit more fine tuning on what that might look like, we're going to go into adjustments here instead. All right, so with these adjustments, you've got some adjustment presets that are built into the latest version of Photoshop here. I'd like to go into the black and white adjustment layer, which is the one right here on the left panel. And this gives you a series of sliders that will adjust particular color tones, either darker or lighter. So I have a bit more control now on how the black and white looks. So if I say drop the red, take a look. Now I can get that drama in the shadows on the top and the bottom of the picture just by adjusting it, or alternatively bring it up. Okay, I like it better dark. That really brings out the contrast. The same thing with the yellows, right? So if I wanted to bring the yellows, the picture was largely yellows and oranges because if you remember the photo is kind of like a warm brown shots with not a lot of color variation. So, for instance, if I go into the cyans, you'll notice I can adjust this slider and it really doesn't make any difference because the original photo was mostly kind of warm orangey brown cream kind of colors. So big impact with that red. So I'm going to take that red down. Okay. And there is one adjustment layer that you see is on top of your background layer. So I can hide that and see the original photo. It's a non-destructive edit. And the next thing I'm going to do is go back to the adjustments, and I'm going to go to bring up the punch even a little bit more to the curves adjustment layer. Right. So the curves adjustment layer is a graph of all the information from light to dark on the image, and one very simple edit that you can do to pretty much any photograph that will just add a little up a level of contrast and get a bit more control than just grabbing the contrast slider is doing something called an S curve. So I can take this line, this diagonal line, and I can grab it at various points. So I'm going to grab it in the top quadrant here, and I'm going to pull it up just a little bit, and then I'm going to go down here the opposite bottom quadrant and pull it down like that. Okay, so it's a slight S curve, it's called. Now we can go really dramatic, but we don't want it to be too dramatic or too unrealistic or too dark. You can play with it. See, you have that. I can kind of move it and see what I like. So I like the dark, milky white and the inky blacks there. So maybe I can retake that anchor point and bring it up to get more contrast. I don't want to lose my silvery grays though, so I don't want to do it too much. So there it is. So you can see before and then after. You can see just more drama in terms of the range from the black and white. And there, I'm happy with it. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take those adjustment layers and I'm going to flatten them down into the original image. So I'm going to go into my layers panel and flatten the image. And there you have it. So that is the edited version of the one that I just had. So give that a try. Try the black and white adjustment layer and the curves adjustment layer to adjust those S curves to make a dramatic light and shadow black and white image. Give it a try.